losing money. In the medical fraternity, I'm sure you are well aware about a case in Ahmedabad where a renowned doctor had the downfall in downfall into a financial crisis because of his trading habit. Clearly, whenever you hear trading, please remember that trading is injurious to ordinary person's financial health. That will be good enough for you to desist from trading. The next question then comes, what should be the best way of making money? What should be the best way of investing? Well, today in financial market, you have many solutions: debt funds, equity funds, real estate funds, gold funds, offshore funds. They are just like medical shop. For different patient, different medicine is available. For different disease, different medicine is available. But you don't go to medical shop and buy medicine for your disease. You go to a doctor, take his advice, take his prescription, and then start consuming medicine. Same way, in the world of investments, there are many products which are available. If you take under a mutual fund distributor or financial advisor's prescription, it will enhance your health. If you take without consulting appropriate advisor, it will harm your health. Like you give prescription for various medicine, same way you will require an advisor, a mutual fund distributor, to give you right advice about investment, which products are suitable to you, which products are not suitable to you. The other way to make money is to follow a regular investment approach. Keep on investing some money every month rather than waiting to time the market perfectly. Second, be a long-term investor, because nothing happens in shortcut. And third, follow a disciplined approach in terms of your asset allocation. Put some money in equity, some money in fixed income, some money in real estate, some money in commodity, some money in offshore assets. This is how you create a portfolio which will work handy for you in enhancing your portfolio, in enhancing your return. Now, coming to today's market, we are seeing fairly sharp correction in equity market. People who have invested over last 3 years are staring at negative return. People who have done SIP for 3 years have looked at negative return. And there is concern that markets can go further down. Undoubtedly, this is the most unprecedented crisis. It's a perfect storm where medical crisis has come together to stop economic activity, that has created economic crisis, and that is now moving into financial market. It is the intersection of medical crisis, economic crisis, and financial crisis together. And undoubtedly, markets have come down. What are the preferred options at this point of time where one should look to invest? Well, as I mentioned, you need to have good financial advisor, one who can understand your objective, one who can understand your requirement and prescribe right set of products. If you are a short-term investor, there's no point in giving equity fund to you. If you are a conservative investor, there's no point in giving PMS or AIF to you. If you are looking for long-term, there's no point in giving liquid fund to you. So clearly your investment requirement has to meet with your investment objective by choosing right product. So first and most important is to get right mutual fund distributor, right financial advisor. Second, you have to sit with him to define what is your investment goal. Do you want money for retirement? Do you want money for setting up your clinic? Do you want money for your son's marriage? Do you want money for your daughter's education? Do you want money for your next travel destination? Whatever the case may be, whatever your investment objective, you'll have to plan for it. And you'll have to follow a particular approach, a particular financial plan in order to achieve those objectives. So one, with financial advisor ready, second, with financial plan ready, you can then decide what to do in current scenario. our first preference in current scenario is to be overweight gold. Gold prices generally does well when interest rates are low and liquidity is high. Last time it happened was in 2008 subprime crisis, when interest rates were low and liquidity was very high. Gold prices moved from $750 in November 2008 to about $1,900 by September 2011. In just about 3 years time frame, gold prices moved by more than 100% in US dollar terms. Now also we believe gold prices are looking attractive. They have moved from $1,450 to $1,775. So a reasonable move has happened, but there is more room in our opinion. This is primarily driven by extremely high liquidity in global markets, extremely low to zero interest rates in most markets. This combination will support gold prices globally. There are three ways to invest in gold primarily. One is physical gold. Second is gold ETF. Third is gold bonds issued by the government. When you are buying physical gold, you have to ensure that it is of right quality and you don't end up paying too much premium for buying physical gold. If you come into gold ETF, you need to have 1 to 3 year horizon, and we charge expenses for providing day-to-day liquidity. You can enter anytime, you can exit anytime. The third is gold bonds, which are issued by RBI. They are with 5 to 7 year lock-in. You get coupon income over and above gold price appreciation in gold bonds issued by the government. So between physical gold, gold ETF, and gold bonds, you can accumulate your desired gold allocation. The second overweight is in equities. We believe currently equity is attractively priced, but in the near term, equities downward journey may continue. Till such time a medical solution emerges, neither the equity market nor the economy can bottom out. This time we need medical solution first, and then only financial markets will stabilize. Now, because market is afraid and uncertain about future, prices are available at attractive level. They can still become attractive by going down, but these are opportunity to buy. Today, market is like a time travel machine. You can go back 4 years to buy large cap stocks. You can go back 6 years to buy mid cap stocks. You can go back 9 years to buy small cap stocks. Very rarely in life, this kind of opportunity comes where you can go back 4 years to buy large cap stocks, 6 years to buy mid cap stocks, and 9 years back to buy small cap stocks, which is why we are recommending that you should be overweight equity, just like gold. However, in equity, markets are likely to be volatile. They will go down probably in the near term till such time medical solution emerges for coronavirus. So in that scenario, you need to invest in a systematic basis. We'll recommend your incremental investment in equity in two parts. One part to be invested when there is uncertainty, when markets are falling. Another part to be invested when medical solution has emerged. That way you will be able to average yourself into the market. Some money when markets are falling, some money when markets are stabilizing. Whatever you buy today over a period of time will give you great return, just like it happened in 2008 subprime crisis. Next question then comes, Nilesh bhai, you have talked about SIP, but the SIP returns of last 12 months, last 18 months, last 36 months have been negative. Why should we continue? Well, undoubtedly, last 12 months, last 36 months, SIP returns are negative today. But the same returns in the month of January 2020, about 4 months back, were totally different. We did a calculation on Kotak Emerging Equity Fund, which is our mid-cap fund. In the month of Jan 20, 12-month SIP return was 27%. It became 41% negative by March 20. In 2 months, 12 months SIP return turned from minus 27 to plus 27 to minus 41. In the month of April, when markets recovered a little bit, it became minus 21. Clearly, as markets have moved, SIP return has changed from plus 27 to minus 21 in about 4 months time frame. But whatever you buy today, whenever market moves up, will give you great return. So don't look at SIP from a 12-month horizon, 15-month horizon. Look at it from a 5-year, 10-year horizon. And whatever you are buying when markets are cheap will greatly benefit you when markets move up. The next question then comes that, Nilesh bhai, why don't put all the money in gold kind of assets or real estate kind of assets where they don't suffer mark-to-market losses like equity mutual fund, like fixed income mutual fund? Well, that's not true. Gold prices also fluctuate up and down. Real estate prices also fluctuate up and down. But because we don't do mental mark-to-market, that's why we don't suffer or we don't see erosion in their value. Gold prices in 1980 were $800, and it took them full 20 years to cross that $800 price after almost 20 years. So gold, real estate, bank deposits, they all have mark-to-market losses, but people don't recognize it, people don't register it because they don't go and check their prices on a daily basis. Unfortunately, in equity, every day, whether you like it or not, prices are available on various screens, NAVs are available on various messaging, and which is where this creates uncertainty in the minds of investors. The next question then comes, if you are believing that markets will go down, then why not I sell everything today and then buy it when things have become cheaper, when things have become lower? Well, don't make that mistake, because no one can say with certainty when markets will bottom out. I'm saying that till such time medical solution doesn't come, markets will be volatile. It can go down. I'm not saying that it will go down. Now, what if tomorrow medical solution emerges? If that happens, then obviously markets will jump up. Market today is trading at lower level because news is bad. Good news and good price don't come together. Good news normally has very bad price to invest, and bad news normally has very good price to invest. So knowing fully well that in the near term markets will be volatile, they'll go up and down, it is time to invest in a calibrated manner, in a gradual manner, so that whatever we have bought today over a period of time can deliver us great return. Then the next question comes, okay, we are overweight gold, we are overweight equity. In equity, we will invest on a gradual basis, calibrated basis. We will appoint financial advisor. We will sit with him to arrive at a good financial plan, and we will execute that with discipline, with long-term investment focus. Now, what about fixed income? In the fixed income space, Franklin Templeton announced that 6 mutual fund schemes will be winding down. What if tomorrow all other mutual funds do the same thing? Then my monies are stuck. Well, one, there is a difference between Franklin Templeton mutual fund winding down this scheme vis-a-vis, let's say, PMC Bank. In PMC Bank, there is a fraud. All the monies were given to one borrower who is defaulting. In Templeton's case, your monies are given to various borrowers. Those details are available on the website, and there's no accusation of fraud over there. There's no accusation of siphoning off. Whenever your assets will be liquidated, all the money will come back to you, and many of these assets are AAA rated, AA plus rated. So this is not PMC Bank. It is a temporary withholding of your money. It does not mean that you have lost all your money. Second thing, what happened with Templeton was an isolated event for them. All their other mutual funds are open for subscription and redemption. They are continuing their normal business activity. It is only 6 credit risk fund where they had invested in illiquid papers, or where papers have become illiquid courtesy COVID-19, are submitted for winding down. Other schemes are running normally. In many other in almost all other mutual funds, they have no need for putting any restrictions on day-to-day activity, on redemptions, because our portfolios were far more liquid and our portfolios were far better in credit risk. This allowed us to operate our business in normal scenario. And I can assure you that we are not looking at any kind of step like Templeton for any of our debt scheme. Our portfolios are solid from a credit point of view. They are also liquid to meet normal redemptions. Now, my request will be, don't take my words for granted. Don't trust me. Please do a research on your own by reading our fact sheet. You'll have to spend very small amount of time in reading our fact sheet. You will see all the name which you will be able to associate with, which you will be able to recognize: State Bank of India, Government of India, Power Finance Corporation, Rural Electric Corporation, and so on and so forth. And it will give you confidence to stay invested with our fund. On the fixed income, it is necessary to keep some allocation as it gives stability to your portfolio return. This is how current scenario is, current situation is. If I have to summarize, please consult right financial advisor, mutual fund distributor, who can give you guidance related to which products is suitable to you. Second, you need to sit and have a financial plan, short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. Third, you have to invest on a regular basis. You have to invest in fixed income, equity, gold, real estate, offshore assets in order to create a portfolio which will maximize return. More importantly, you have to invest on a long-term basis. Day-to-day volatility, day-to-day movement of market should not impact you. In today's scenario, we recommend you to be overweight gold, overweight equity, underweight fixed income in your asset allocation. If you are looking to buy real estate, please do a solid bargain hunting. Most developers will be willing to sell at a throwaway price. They are all desperate. Demand has disappeared, and they'll be more than happy to sell their product at a much below last traded price. So this is the best time to buy real estate, by doing extremely aggressive bargain hunting. This is how we see the current scenario. Sachin bhai, I'll be happy to take questions.
Yes, sir. So, very nice, sir. Like, you have highlight couple of things. So, I just would like to summarize first and take questions. Like, so sir has already said, like, first of all, you should have a right planner who can guide you to invest rightly in different, and you need to decide your goals on either it's a long term, medium term, and short term goals. And very good thing which sir just said, like, because a lot of doctors believe in like, investing in real estate. So this is the right time, like, when you do a solid bargaining and hunting, and then you can invest. So, sir, I'll take one by one question. So one question is, when the market is going to revive, what is your thought about the revival of the market? How many months or year? What do you feel?
Everything is in your hand. Whenever we get medical solution, that will be the bottom of market and economy. Medical solution will be in two parts. One, a combination of drugs which will cure patient. Second, a vaccine which will prevent occurrence. Today, market is discounting that between anti-malaria drug like hydroxychloroquine and erythromycin combination, or anti-Ebola drug like remdesivir, or antiviral drug like favipiravir, or anti-arthritis drug like Kevzara by Sanofi, or anti-leprosy drug like Sepsivac, or recent today what Bangladesh has discovered between ivermectin and doxycycline. Some combination of drug will be available which will give cure to the patients, and that will give confidence to the government that there's no need to put economic lockdown. People can freely move to pursue economic activities. We also need a combination of vaccine which will prevent occurrence. Today, University of Oxford is leading a human trial of their vaccine. Serum Institute Pune is manufacturer for the same. They are going to keep 50 lakh doses ready by September, by which this human trial is likely to get completed. Today, Dr. Sarah Gilbert, who is the lead researcher for University of Oxford, has talked about 80% confidence that this will pass human trial. There is another vaccine from Moderna, a US company, which is on RNA model of vaccine, unconventional vaccine. They are also into human trial, I think phase 2 or phase 3. That also is looking very promising. And apart from that, there are conventional vaccines from Gilead, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, CanSino Biological, Sinotech Bio. Apart from that, there are a couple of Israeli and Italian companies which are also talking about developing vaccine. So we need a medical solution in the form of drugs or vaccine in order to give confidence to the government that economic activities can resume normally. And once it resumes normally, market will bottom out. Before that, there is no bottoming out of market.
Okay. Sir, we have a question for real estate investment. So people are asking like, is this the right time to invest into a home property or a commercial property or a shop? So what is your advice on that, sir?
So on commercial property, please be aware that work from home is becoming culture. Most of the office premises all over India are shut or are operating at 10%, 20% utilization. So my guess is that it is time to stay away from commercial property, go for residential property, go for shops which are being lent out for, selling things rather than housing offices. Go for warehouses if you want to, but avoid commercial premises, which are office space. Second, this is time to bargain very, very hard. Don't be nice to your developer. Just bargain like crazy. If the last traded price was 100, start your bid at 20 rupees and 30 rupees. Every developer is under tremendous pressure to liquidate his portfolio, liquidate his inventory, and he will give very, very attractive prices to a buyer. And buyers have disappeared in this market for real estate. So take advantage of that. Very rarely you get this opportunity where you can negotiate hard with the builder and builder will agree to your terms. So residential investment, shops, definitely worth looking at it. Warehouses, definitely worth looking at it, but stay away from commercial premises.
Sir, you talked about an investment in gold. So a lot of questions I can see here that a lot of gold bonds are available. So we should go for the gold bonds which are banks are offering, or we should directly invest in gold. Although you have already said like, gold bonds and gold ETF. And
go for gold bonds because Sachin bhai, you get 2.5% interest plus gold price appreciation. If you buy physical gold, and many doctors I have seen, they have the habit of buying small gold coins. Many a times jewelers supply, many a times bankers supply. Now, most of the time they are paying 100 rupee and getting a gold of 70, 75, 80 rupee. When you buy in bulk, you get market price. But when you buy in smaller denomination, you pay a huge premium. Now, when you pay 20, 25% premium for buying 1 gram of gold, 2 gram of gold, what's the point? You might as well invest in gold bonds and stay invested over there. One, you will get coupon income. Second, you don't have to pay this premium to enter gold. And third, it is secured by the government of India. Buying physical gold in today's time and keeping it safe will be a bigger challenge. Gold bonds will be the best option to invest.
Okay. Sir, I can also see a couple of questions for the beginners. So they have, when they are beginner, how to start, from where to start, if they start in stock market, what should they do, if mutual funds, so what is your right advice to them?
So like by doing Google research, I can't be prescribing hydroxychloroquine tablet or erythromycin tablets or favipiravir or remdesivir. Today, I am able to announce all these names only because of Google research, but that does not make me qualified from prescribing it. Same way, if you are starting for investment, I mean, please take it seriously. It's not a joke. You work 24/7. You work 365 days a year to make some money. That money has to be invested wisely. That money has to be invested with seriousness. Like we take our health for granted, many a times people take their wealth for granted. Both are dangerous. Both are going to cost you a lot. So to all beginners, my advice will be, please go and first find a good financial advisor. There are some wonderful people available who provide service to you in terms of making you understand product, making you choose right product, helping you invest into it, and more importantly, monitoring it so that tomorrow if there is something wrong, you can move out of those products. Second, you have to create financial plan. I send a friend of, so let me give you this experience. I have a family doctor, a very nice gentleman. Whenever he speaks, I get cured types, very, very reassuring. One day he told me that, Nilesh, I have invested in some stocks. Why don't you look at it? So I said, sure, sir, give me your portfolio. And he had only given alphabetical names. He did not give quantum. He had just written ABC, PQR, XYZ. So he had invested in some 130 stocks. So I went to him saying that, sir, when did you get time to invest in all these stocks? So he said, no, your kind of clients come to me regularly. So someone said, buy this, I bought. Someone said, buy this, I bought. Someone said, buy this, I bought. I said, sir, but what about selling? Did anyone come and tell you sell? He said, no one came. And if people came, I didn't anyway listen to them. Now he was a classic fill it, shut it, forget it investor. And in that 130 stock portfolio, 125 stocks were junk. They were trading, half of them were unlisted, half of them were trading much, much below its acquisition cost, down 90%, 95%. All the tips which he received from his well-meaning customer, and I doubt any customer will be so brave that he will try to misguide his doctor. So everyone was well-intentioned. He lost money in 125 out of 130 stocks. Then I found him holding on 2 pharma company stocks. One was Sun Pharma, other was GlaxoSmithKline Beechem. GlaxoSmithKline. So I said, sir, these are 2 very good stocks you own, Sun and Glaxo. How did you pick it up? Did someone come and recommended this stock to you? He said, no. When I was prescribing medicines, when I started my career, Glaxo was there. Today, when I'm, about to retire, Glaxo is still there. So their medicines were continuously prescribed by me on a regular basis. So I kept on buying Glaxo stock. And in Sun's case, it was a very small company, but it moved into what is known as cardiovascular and neurosurgeon, neuromedicine kind of things. So they were moving into very high quality medicine. And I liked the company. Their salesmen were very aggressive. They were very knowledgeable. So I liked the company, I bought it. Finally, when I looked at his portfolio along with number of shares invested and the money made, 2 of the best performing stocks were Glaxo and Sun. And of late, Sun hasn't done well, despite that Sun portfolio in his Sun return in his portfolio was fantastic. So effectively, don't go by tips. Your clients all have very well intention, but you are not geared for it. You won't be able to sell when the client is telling you. If client is not unhealthy, he won't come to you and say that you go and sell these shares. So one, have a financial advisor for yourself who will regularly come to you, update you about products, update you about portfolio, and force you to take corrective action. Second, sit with him for your financial goals. Do you want to set up clinic, hence you want to save money? Do you want your son to get married, hence you want to save money? Do you want to send your daughter to be a doctor and hence you want to save money? Do you want to retire? Do you want to go for travel? Whatever be the objective, start investing in that fashion. Many a times I have seen doctors who, uh, pardon me if I'm saying it disrespectfully, but this is what I have seen. Many doctors get cash and then they just keep it in the clinic. They don't go and deposit in bank. They just keep it for a year or two. When it becomes big, then they go and invest in real estate, or they go and lend it out to others. Now these are all very inefficient way of managing your wealth. Half the time when you lend out money, it doesn't come to you. It's a total loss. Many a times in real estate, when you go for under construction building, it doesn't get completed and your monies are stuck for a long period of time. So my recommendation is that please get a good advisor. Please get great objectives, clear objectives, and then follow a disciplined plan. I'm sure this will deliver far better return than what you are doing right now.
Okay. Sir, you repeated couple of times that you should have a good financial advisor. So I can see couple of questions asking how to find a way for finding a good wealth advisor, how we should identify a good right advisor. What is your tip on that, sir?
So suppose if I change my residence and move to a new area, how do I find a good doctor? One, I will ask neighbor that can you recommend me one doctor? Second, I will go by experience. If in my first experience I get a feeling that this doctor is not knowledgeable, I'm not going to go to him next time. If I find him that he's trying to take advantage of me by pushing me into unnecessary testing, I'm not going to go to him. So one is reference and second is experience. When you are searching for a mutual fund distributor or financial advisor, use the same technique. Ask your client, ask your fellow friends, who is their good advisor and what is their opinion. Maybe out of 100 clients, 5 will have good advisor. Go to him, understand from him what he can do for you. If he is coming to sell you a product, कि sir ये mutual fund ले लो बहुत अच्छा है, then throw him out. But if he comes saying that sir you want to go for travel, which is a short-term objective, you want to go in next 12 months, I can't recommend equity fund for you because 12 months is not good enough for equity investment. You must invest in fixed deposits. You must invest in fixed income fund. Once you see that this guy is giving right medicine for my disease, for my objective, then you experiment with him, experience him, and then continue with him. So reference and experience, this is the only way to measure a good financial advisor.
Okay. Sir, I can see also question, somebody asked, what about PMS? Because PMS, you also mentioned last 3 years, it has gone down drastically. So what is your saying on PMS? We should take it out money from the PMS or we should continue?
So normally on a like-to-like basis, between a mutual fund and portfolio management scheme, mutual fund will always do well. Why will it happen? Because when mutual fund trade, when they do buy sell, they don't pay tax. In PMS, whenever you do buy sell, you pay either 15% tax or 10% tax. So taxation itself will reduce your return in PMS vis-a-vis mutual fund. Same to same portfolio, same to same trading, mutual funds will outperform PMS because they don't pay tax. Second is IPO allotment. There are many good IPOs like DMart. It comes at 100 rupee, gets listed at 200 rupee, then goes to 600 rupee kind of thing. Now, in PMS, you don't get IPO allotment. In mutual funds, you get OFS allotment, you get QIP allotment. Third is derivatives usage. While technically there's no restriction on PMS and mutual fund on derivative usage, but practical situation requires better usage of derivatives in mutual fund compared to PMS. Now put all the 3 advantages of lower taxes, IPO allotment, QIP allotment, OFS allotment, and derivative usage, mutual fund on the same portfolio does far better than PMS. Then why do PMS exist? Well, PMS exists for providing concentrated risk. In mutual fund scheme, one scheme will have 60 stock. In PMS, one scheme could have 6 stocks also. So it takes higher risk to generate higher return. Now if you are familiar with stock market, you are interested in earning higher return at higher risk, then go for PMS. But otherwise stay invested with mutual fund. It is let's say mutual fund is generic version of a medicine and PMS is branded version of medicine. दोनों का ऑब्जेक्टिव सेम ही है, एक में खाली प्राइस ज्यादा लगेगा.
Okay. Sir, the couple of questions are there. They would like to know, in this crisis, although you have already said, but what will be the right time of disinvestment from mutual funds which are not doing well, so they should stay or they should come out? What is your advice on that?
Sure. So this is a very, very important question. Suppose if Sachin Tendulkar doesn't score runs in 5 innings, the chances of his hitting a double century in 6th inning increases. Just because Sachin Tendulkar didn't score in 5 innings doesn't mean that he is a bad batsman. On the other hand, let's say XYZ cricketer, if he doesn't play in 5 innings, then probably his life is over. He will be discarded from the team. So when you look at mutual fund, you have to look at, is it a class mutual fund? Is it non-class mutual fund? Is this fund house and fund manager having a bad period? Or are they really bad in structure and process? Never ever give up on a class fund manager because he had a bad time. Because chances are that in the next 6 months, next 1 year, he will recover past performance. On the other hand, if you have chosen a bad fund manager, bad process, then it's important to cut your losses. So this is where fund advisor comes into play, and he will tell you that, oh, this is the fund to invest despite bad performance because his portfolio is good, because his process is good. If batsman technique is good and he hasn't scored run, doesn't matter. He will catch up. But if batsman does not have technique and he's scoring run by luck, then there's no point in staying invested with him. So you need financial advisor for this differentiator. And he will be the right person to tell you when to get out, when to stay invested despite underperformance.
Okay. Sir, looking into this COVID, I think this question is coming quite often now in this. People say, like, do we go ahead for more of pharma shares and FMCG shares, which is currently in a safe mode in COVID-19 pandemic? So what is your go on about it, sir?
See, it's a very, very tough question because each individual has a different requirement. Someone could be Rahul Dravid. Yes, please go into FMCG, pharma, IT kind of stock. It's a steady return. Someone could be like Virendra Sehwag, Rohit Sharma. They want 4s and 6. Now, if you tell them that you play for 1-1 run, 2-2 run, they'll get frustrated and get out. So look at your risk profile. Are you Rohit Sharma? Are you Rahul Dravid? Are you Sachin Tendulkar? What is your risk profile? If you're an aggressive investor, go for small and mid cap. Go for non-IT, non-pharma, non-FMCG. If you're a conservative investor, then go for large cap stocks. Go for IT, pharma, defensive stocks. But try to select stocks based on your risk profile. Otherwise, what will happen that you will invest in FMCG, your neighbor portfolio will go up 2 times, 3 times in small cap. Then you will try to chase his portfolio. That will be a disaster. आप अपनी risk profile के हिसाब से invest करिए.
Okay. Sir, I could see a couple of questions where some of the doctors are asking for a specific fund, like, is it the right time or I should come out of this? So I can't take name of all the mutual funds. So you give at least a therapy, how the people assess which mutual fund is currently right or anything, any rating or something like, which you can give a tip, sir.
So number one, if you ask me, wouldn't I say Sachin bhai ki Kotak mutual fund सब अच्छा ही है? वो तो मेरा जॉब है बोलना. मैं थोड़ी कभी आके बोलूंगा कि कोटक म्यूचुअल फंड ने गड़बड़ कर दिया. So don't take don't ask barber whether you need a haircut or not. He's always going to say yes. In the ranking also, there are such kind of people. For example, Franklin Templeton funds were rated 5-star just before they went into winding down, because they were only looking at past return. They were not looking at the risk taking. See, आज मतलब आप डॉक्टर है, you have two medicine. एक 10 दिन लगेगा ठीक करने में, दूसरा एक ही दिन में ठीक कर देगा, बट फिर 9 दिन साइड इफेक्ट रहेगा. Now, which is right medicine? One which keeps you cured in one day, but then you pay a heavy side effect price, or one which takes 10 days, but you have no side effect. One which gives temporary cure, one which gives permanent cure. Now, most doctors will go for permanent cure, not for one with heavy side effects. Same way in fund management, there are funds who take high risk to generate return, and when things go bad, they fall. There are funds which are very consistent, conservative in their approach. So try to build a portfolio which is core portfolio around conservative funds. This is like marriage. I have chosen my partner, I'm staying with him or her for a long period of time. Keep some satellite portfolio which is for trading point of view. Not trading means day to day, but over 1 year, 1.5 year, 3 year. That combination will give you right mix between return and safety, between risk and return.
Okay. Sir, there's also one question is coming again and again. I think a lot of people asking in different ways. Is the right time to invest in SIP even now? And they want to ask about what about STP? I'm combining 2-3 questions, sir.
Sure.
One question is the right time to invest in mid cap or small cap or large cap? What is your bet on this?
So again, Sachin bhai, आपको आपकी risk profile देखनी पड़ेगी. If you are conservative investor, जिसको रात को नींद चैन की चाहिए, तो वो large cap में ही रहिए. Don't come into small and mid cap because they'll be like roller coaster. आपको मतलब NAV drop देख के 40%, 50% heart attack नहीं आना चाहिए. But if you are looking for high return and for that you are willing to take high risk, then small and mid cap is the time to buy. 2008 में जिसने स्मॉल एंड मिड कैप खरीदा, उसके फंड पे उसने 100%, 200% रिटर्न बनाया, बट उसके लिए उसने रोलर कोस्टर की राइड भी ली. लार्ज कैप में रिटर्न 50%, 60% बना, बट देन द वॉलेटिलिटी वाज मच लोअर. So you have to choose fund based on your risk profile, not based on what returns are going to come. Because return आने से पहले risk आता है, और वो risk में लोग निकल जाते हैं. So choose your risk profile, which is why it is extremely important to understand what is your risk profile, how much risk you can take, how much volatility you can bear. Market हमेशा एक गलती माफ करता है. If you have entered at a high level but you remain invested, your returns will be lower but it will still be there. But if you enter at high level and exit at lower level because you are worried and you book your loss, then notional loss becomes real loss. It remains with you for lifetime. So understand your risk profile and then choose large cap fund, mid cap fund, small cap fund, multi cap fund. If you don't understand too much, then just invest in multi cap fund. The fund manager itself will take a call whether he should choose large cap, mid cap, small cap. He will choose according to valuation.
Okay. So sir, like, in many of the questions answer, so a lot of doctors, I'll say, he has already answered because you have typed different questions and so yes, so I said you should have a right advisor which will guide you on every aspect. But there's a one question which I feel, sir, you should answer. If somebody is interested in stock market and he's new, so from where to start and how to start if you want to do a self start for stock market investment?
So जैसे आपने मेडिसिन की पढ़ाई की, वैसे स्टॉक मार्केट की पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. आपके लिए हिपोक्रेटिस का मतलब जो ओथ है, दैट्स बाइबल. वैसे हमारे फंड मैनेजर्स के लिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट वालों के लिए वॉरेन बफे का ओथ है या पीटर लिंच का ओथ है, तो दैट इज आवर बाइबल. इन मेडिसिन यू गो टू कॉलेज. स्टॉक मार्केट में अच्छा है, बगैर कॉलेज में जाए बगैर भी आप पढ़ सकते हैं. You have to read books, you have to read balance sheets, you have to talk to like-minded people to understand what's happening, and धीरे धीरे experiment करना चाहिए. Make mistakes, but ensure that you don't repeat mistakes. And जो भी पढ़ा उसको experiment करते जाओ. धीरे 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 you will get the confidence. आज मुझे मार्केट में तकरीबन 28 साल होने को आए, बट रोज नई मिस्टेक करता हूं और पुरानी नहीं दोहरे उसी की कोशिश करता हूं. तो इट्स अ continuous learning process. You have to be student of the market. You have to read, observe, learn, relearn, and ensure that you don't repeat mistakes. Ultimately, you will become a good investor. And for all the doctors, I just want to tell a story that when I had said common sense is critical, I'll show it, I'll prove it in real life. मेरे एक friend है, उनके पिताजी was a clerk in a chartered accountancy firm in Fort, and this I'm talking of 70s. He is a Marathi gentleman, and उसकी जो firm थी उसमें सब गुजराती मारवाड़ी थे. Now Gujarati Marwadis, Sindhis are known business people. They were all chartered accountants. And in those days, because they were situated in Fort, all these partners used to trade, invest in stock market. वो टाइम का समय था, फिजिकल सब आप शेयर ट्रांसफर फॉर्म बेचते थे, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नोट आता था, जाता था, पैसा लेके जाते थे. Now looking at their contract note, my friend's father recognized what mistakes they were making. He was able to identify where they were making money and where they were losing money. And all these CS professionals of the 60s and 70s were losing money on trading. And they were making money when they picked up good quality stocks and stayed invested. Now, in the 70s, if you remember, George Fernandez pushed all the multinational companies to list in India. From Get to Glaxo to Novartis to Hext Marion Russell to P&G, they all got listed. When this listing was happening, my friend's uncle started buying them in IPO. He'll put 50 rupee application, 100 rupee application. Some he got listed, some he got allotment, some he didn't. And then later on, whenever he will save meager sums from his money, he will buy 1 share, 2 share, 3 share, 5 share of those companies. But he was always buying good quality company, multinational company. Time passed. In the 90s, he retired. When he retired, his wealth was higher than all his partners' wealth put together. This Marathi gentleman made more money by observing the mistakes of his partners. And his son is now a very famous fund manager. He carried forward into his father's steps. So neither education is necessary, nor a particular DNA is necessary to be a successful investor. All you need is common sense.
Okay, good. Sir, there are few questions on the same line. When you is a very safe investor and you want absolutely guaranteed returns, so what is your take on these kind of investors and how they should go about it for a very safe investment, very guaranteed returns over the period of time?
So there is no free lunch. आप ऑपरेशन टेबल में घुसे तो आपको कटना तो पड़ेगा ही. बगैर काटे आपका ऑपरेशन नहीं हो सकता, चाहे कितना भी अच्छा डॉक्टर हो, चाहे कितना भी अच्छा ऑपरेशन थिएटर हो. तो मार्केट तो बॉक्सिंग की रिंग है, वहां पे जैसे आप अंदर घुसे तो पड़ने ही है. यू कांट से कि मेरे को मारो मत. नाउ लेट्स से safe. Government securities are safest. If you put money in National Savings Certificate, Indira Vikas Patrak, Kisan Vikas Patrak, Public Provident Fund, your monies are safe from a credit point of view. आपने 100 रुपया डाला, 150 रुपया मिल जाएगा आपको. But is it safe from inflation point of view? अगर आपने पैसा डाला 8% पे और इन्फ्लेशन 12% है, तो हर साल आप 4% खो रहे हो. बैंक डिपॉजिट में पैसा करके आज तक कोई पैसेदार नहीं बना, कोई बिलियनर नहीं बना. खाली बैंकर ही बिलियनर बनता है बिकॉज वो बैंक चलाता है, वो खुद अपना पैसा बैंक डिपॉजिट में नहीं लगाता. सो व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट सेफ्टी, you are only looking at principle. You don't look at inflation, and which is where many doctors, many professionals suffer because they believe fixed deposit is safe, small savings is safe. It is not safe. It is giving you below investment, below inflation return, and you are earning negative return. It is like holding, ice in your hand. वो तो पिघलता जाएगा धीरे 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 करके. जो 1991 में 100 रुपए की वैल्यू थी वो 2000 में नहीं है. जो 2000 में 1000 रुपए की वैल्यू थी 2010 में नहीं है. जो 2010 में 10,000 की वैल्यू है वो 2020 में नहीं है. और आज जो चीज 1 लाख की है 2030 में पता नहीं क्या भाव में मिलेगी. So please look at investment as a place where you have to minimize risk and maximize return. If you go to chit fund, you will be promised 36% return, but principal वापस नहीं आएगा. If you go to bank fixed deposits, you will be offered 6% return, but that may not be good enough to beat inflation, which is where good advisor is necessary, which is where diversified portfolio between real estate, gold, fixed income, equity shares, equity mutual funds is necessary. That combination will help you outperform.
Okay. So, sir, quick last two questions. One question is, sir, like, lot of advisor nowadays advise that the market has come down, so you should buy in some specific stocks, right? So undoubtedly you have answered a couple of times, the right advisor will tell you, like, which needs to be buy. But this conception is right that, like, currently the market is down. So if you are investing in stocks, so you should rely on some stocks and you should invest at this point of time.
So never ever follow, free advice. Many a times TV पे आके जो आदमी आपको बोलता है ये खरीदो, वो खुद बेच रहा होता है. And see, let's remember, what is my interest in making Sachin rich? बस मेरा कोई ऑब्लिगेशन थोड़ी है आपके ऊपर कि मेरे को सचिन को पैसेदार बनाना ही है. एंड अगर मेरे में उतना अकल होता तो मैं अपने लिए पैसा बनाता, सचिन के लिए थोड़ी बनाता. So you have to select an advisor based on what advice he is giving. For example, if a person comes and says that buy XYZ stock, now you ask him, why should I buy? What earnings you expect? What profitability growth you expect? Who is the management? Have you read balance sheet? आपको पता चल जाएगा वो क्या पानी में है, फेक रहा है या actually उसने research किया है. So someone who can give you logical explanation for what he is recommending, then only you buy. Otherwise, don't follow tips. Don't follow hearsay on television. No one is coming on television to make you rich. He is coming there to earn his salary.
Right, sir. So this is a wonderful session, and I hope I have covered most of the questions. There are some couple of questions were same, so sir have answered all. So I'll just give a quick summary. Sir has said, like, the one message he has given time and again, choosing the right consultant is very important. The financial advisor who can advise you on different aspects, and you should have a good clarity of goals, what kind of goals you have. It's a short term, long term, and or medium term. So on that basis of the goals, you should invest rightly. You should choose the right products to invest. Create your portfolio on basis of your goals. And he also said, like, look for SIP with the 5-year horizon if you want to invest in SIPs. And he has given a couple of examples in terms of gold also he has said, and in terms of a lot of mutual funds example he has said. For real estate especially, I've seen a lot of question real estate. He also answered that there's a right time if you do the solid bargain hunting, so you can do that. So with all this, like, I really thank you, Nilesh sir, for this
Thank you.
Wonderful talk, sir, and a lot of questions. And I apologize if I missed some personal questions, because I could see there was some personal question on particular funds, so that I've asked generic questions to sir, which he can answer to more number of people. So with this, I would thank everyone who has come and attended the session, such an insightful session. So thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sachin.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
And please find a medical solution as quickly as possible, because we all desperately need it.
Okay. Right, sir.
Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye, Sachin. See you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.